Check this out. Stuff smells amazing. It's roaring away in there. The aroma from the pine. Maybe don't try this at home. Don't burn your Christmas tree in your fireplace till you've seen this. Check this out. So the question is, can we really burn pine firewood from a Christmas tree just like this in our fireplace? In this video, we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. The aroma from a real Christmas tree is something really special. And this one's going up today for Christmas. But let's burn some pine wood. So what we have here is 2 net bags of some of the finest pine wood money can buy. It's properly seasoned, it's properly prepared, it's ready for the fireplace. You know the score. We're going to weigh 3 kilos out, we're going to get it in there, and we're going to talk all about pine wood. Proper preparation and maintenance as well. So you can burn pine wood safely knowing it's all good. Let's get into it. And this stuff smells amazing. So we got 2 big pieces on there which come to 2.9 kilos, which is in pounds 6.4 pounds. Perfect. Maybe don't try this at home. Just have to split this one, and it would have a knot right in the middle of it, as you can see. So we're going to get that in. It just is a little bit too big. Well, not too big, but I just wanted it to sit a little bit differently in the fireplace. So everything's set up now. We've got nearly 3 kilos of pine in there. We've got a little bit of kindling and a couple of firelighters. We're going to open the bottom and the top vent. But one of the big questions we get asked all the time as fireplace owners is pine firewood okay to burn? Well, in this video, you're going to find out. And how long does it burn? Because I don't know how long 3 kilos burns, but we're going to find out today. It actually surprises me how many people don't use the top-down method like me. I burn from the top down because if you burn from the top down, not only do you get a more efficient burn, you heat up your flue system first and it just creates an overall better experience. I know some of you guys out there are converts. You're starting to use the top-down method. But if you haven't tried this, give it a go and let me know how you get on. So what we actually have here is Douglas fir pine. So they're used as Christmas trees around the world. So the video is about, can you burn your Christmas tree? Well, this is Douglas fir. It's used as a Christmas tree around the world. So the answer to that is yes, but it comes with quite a few caveats really. You've got to make sure it's seasoned correctly, and you've got to make sure you're maintaining your stove as regular as you possibly can. Now I'm going to suggest if you're burning only pine every 3 to 4 months, if you're burning other things mixed in, then maybe 6 to 9 months. You know, you've got to use your head with these things. But let's do a few moisture tests and talk about seasoning correctly. 5 minutes in, just check this out. Look at that. Look at this, roaring away in there already. And we are creeping up on the temps. We're not quite in optimal yet, but we leave the stove warm up now. Right, so we're going to test these 3 pieces here, and you're going to see some great results here. Look at that. So this one is 15.6, which is perfect. We're going to do this big piece here. Just check this out. Look at this. 15.1, or in the 15 range there. For burning pine, those are the kind of moisture readings you want to see really, under that 15% mark. I know they say under 20, but let's get it closer to 15 if we can. And if you want to pick up one of these, there's an affiliate link in the comments below. Helps no end. At the 10-minute mark here, just take a look at this. It's time to set this stove up. Look how well the pine is caught in there. Magic, and it's popping away like crazy. Look at that. Low optimal, time to set the stove up. We've just hit low optimal and it's time to set the stove up. You can see the pine has caught extremely well. It's like rocket fuel in there. So we're going to turn our bottom vent completely down, so shut the bottom vent. And because this is pine, I'm going to shut the top vent down by about 60-70%. And I just want it ticking away at mid-optimal, you know, bang in the middle as always. That's where I really want to run this pine, because if I run it any hotter, it could burn out in a matter of momentos. Once the stove is set up, as you can see, things have calmed down really well in there. And this is what I like to see, is strong flames, but they are not racing away, and they just kind of, the flames are just dancing away in there, which is what I like to see. Now, obviously, the fuel in there is going to get eaten by the flames. It's going to release more heat, and you might have to adjust things as we go along, but you know how we do it. We adjust things to our needs and wants on that particular day, and we see how things goes. I'm trying to run it around mid-optimal today. I'm burning in there. That is special. Half an hour mark now, and as you can see, the flames have extended themselves somewhat in there, and they are spreading really nice. And we are running some decent temperatures here. Look at that, you know, nearly bang in the middle, which is exactly where you want it. You don't need to be running high optimal all the time, and this is how we get some good burn times. Some benefits about burning pine firewood: it can be a lot cheaper than most firewoods. Like, for example, this has cost me 40 pence per kilo, when some of the hardwoods that I've bought recently that we've burnt on the channel have cost me up to £1.40, £1.50, so it's nearly 3 or 4 times more expensive, some of the hardwoods on the market. So it can be a lot cheaper. It actually burns really well. You know, as you can see in the background there, look, it caught really well, it lights really easily as well. And look, it all comes down to, if this stuff is seasoned correctly and you maintain your stove, then you'll have no problems at all. And that's what it comes down to. And I think a lot of people say don't buy pine, don't buy pine, don't buy softwood, but pine actually pops and cracks constantly, and that's what I really like in the fireplace. It's just popping and cracking, and it's something really special about that. So pine comes with a few negatives as well, and it's mainly about the sap content in them, you know, and it's all around the internet. People talk about it all the time. What about the sap? It gets a bad rep because maybe a lot of people don't season it correctly, maybe they don't prep it correctly, maybe they don't clean their chimney enough. You know, it comes down to user error at the end of the day, and I think if you are a responsible person using pine firewood properly seasoned like this and maintaining your chimney, you shouldn't have any problems at all. 1 hour in, just check this out. Look at some of these changes that we've got in here. And as you can see there on the left hand side, that piece of wood that was there has pretty much, not burnt out, but it's pretty much there or thereabouts. Look at this temperature though. You know the score, bang in the middle of optimal, exactly where we want to be. But it's really interesting to see the composite material in here changing before my eyes. Another scary thing when using pine wood in your fireplace like this is when you reload in the stove. Because it's popping and cracking so much in there, you could open the door and a piece of pine could pop out, hit you in the face. You've got to be really careful when opening the door on these things when burning pine. So always be mindful of that. And that goes for any wood really when you think about it, because a lot of wood does pop and crack. So just be careful. So at the hour and 45 minute mark here, I'm really interested to see how long 3 kilos of this pine firewood will actually last, because I think, you know, against some of the harder woods, obviously it's not going to burn as long, but how close can it get to some of the other firewoods? You know, here we are, hour and 45 in, bang in the middle of optimal, it's kicking out some amazing heat. Great results so far, but let's check it out in a little bit. At the 2 hour mark here, we are still going really strong in there. Just take a look at that. And we are still in the middle of optimal. We've just dropped down there from bang in the middle. Just slightly cooler in there. But not bad so far at all. And we still have plenty of medium in there. Look at that. It has shrunk down a lot in size though. It's crazy to see the difference in an hour or two. And the aroma from the pine firewood is something really special too. It's got that piney, fresh smell that you all associate with pine, which is really magical in a sense, which is really nice. At the 2 hour and 15 mark here, I just want to take a little look at the composite material, because we do this with the hardwoods. And we do have some solid wood with the hardwoods normally, but let's just have a little play around here, tap a little bit and see what kind of consistency this is. Now, this, as you can see, you know, it's not just breaking up, you know, it's a little bit soft in there, but it's not just breaking up like some stuff does, you know, it's doing pretty good in there. And there's still quite a bit of material left in there, which is really nice to see. At the 2.5 hour mark, just look how much fuel is still in the fire there. The only problem is the pine is struggling to kick out the heat at this point. 2.5 hours in for 3 kilos pretty much. Pretty good, and we still got, you know, quite a bit of heat left in there. We're still in that optimal zone, which is perfect. So we're going to leave it run through. You know, we could get some really good burn times out of this. Can you really burn your Christmas tree? And the answer to that is yes. What I would do personally is after Christmas, take all the branches off, chop it up, and leave it seasoned for 2 to 3 years. It's a patient game with this pine wood. And after that time, if you're not comfortable burning it in your fireplace, then maybe you can burn it in your fire pit, in the garden, maybe in the summertime. And that's a really good way to use your Christmas tree. But I know a lot of people who use pine just like this on a daily basis. Almost 3 hours in, you have to check this out. At the 3 hour mark, just check this out. Look at that. Still burning away extremely well, and we are still in low optimal, which is kicking out some really solid heat, which is great to see. And I'm surprised because look how much medium or fuel has burned so far. You know, it's burned through really good, as in, you know, we've got some really nice hot coals in there now and some great heat still. I think it's fair to say it's time to refuel a fire, and this is how I do it. When refueling your fire, you want some hot coals just like this, and you also want a decent temperature just like this. Now this is the perfect time to refuel the fire because the hot coals are going to catch your main fuel, and as you can see, I'm putting in another big piece of pine there. Close the door, but leave it just open until the new pine wood catches, and it won't take long at all. Listen to this. We're just going to close the door just like this, and we're going to just double check that the vents are where we would like them, and I like to keep my vents open about the 20-30% mark so it burns nice and hot and clean. So the Christmas tree pine firewood actually burned for a really good amount of time at just over the 3 hour mark in our fireplace, which I think is a great result considering it gets a bad rep, you know, being a softwood, being pine, being sappy. You know, if you're responsible, season it correctly, clean your chimney out correctly, and you'll be fine. And that's what it comes down to. So the question is, can you burn your Christmas tree? Absolutely, if you're being responsible about things. On the screen now, there's some videos to check out if you want to see some more experiments we do on the channel. I'm really happy with this pine firewood, and I'm actually glad that I picked up nearly 100 kilos of this stuff to burn over the festive period. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Pow!